Hi, I'm Susan Thompson, occupational therapist and Tai Chi instructor. In today's video, I'm going to talk about postural alignment and how to improve your awareness of your postural alignment during your Tai Chi. So I want to share my story with you. I actually have 7 herniated discs. Yes, count them, 7 herniated discs. I have 3 severely herniated discs in my neck, and they're actually pressing on my spinal cord. I've had a herniated disc in my thoracic spine since I was about 27 years old, and recently discovered through some MRIs that I have some lumbar herniated disc as well, which I was unaware of. And I have to tell you that I truly believe that the postural alignment principles that I learn and practice every day through Tai Chi is what keeps me from having pain. I have no pain. So I tell you this because I really want you to know that postural alignment has a powerful impact on your life. The first landmark I want you to be aware of is your midline. And that just happens to be right along your sternum and your spine from top to bottom. And as a therapist and a Tai Chi instructor, I'm always a little bit amazed of how little awareness a lot of people have regarding their midline. And our midline is so important in Tai Chi movement and also in protecting and back precautions. So know where your midline is, visualize it, and be aware of it as one of your landmarks. Along your midline, we actually have 3 dantian. Everybody's aware of our lower dantian, but we also have a middle dantian right here at the sternum, and then we have an upper dantian at the forehead between our eyes. These 3 dantian, not coincidentally, lie right along our midline. They also remain aligned throughout our Tai Chi movements. Some other landmarks that we have are, a lot of people have heard of the Qua, and I have a video on the Qua, so if you're not familiar with it, please go up and view that video as well. But we have a hip Qua, and then we also have a shoulder Qua, and our hip Qua and our shoulder Qua need to stay aligned. In fact, at my beginner class, I tell my students I have sewn on a button at their shoulder Qua and hip Qua, and sewn a beautiful fine silk thread. And that has to be in a vertical orientation at all times and remain aligned in order for that silk thread to stay intact. So we have these other landmarks. We have our shoulder and our hip Qua. We also have elbows and knees. And that's another one that is a nice landmark for us when we do our movement, that we don't go past the knee or we don't bring our elbow past our side seam. So these landmarks will help you in executing the postural alignment rules of Tai Chi. Great. So now that we're kind of oriented and you know some of these landmarks, your midline, your shoulder and hip Qua, your elbow and your knee, then let's go into the rules or the principles of movement in Tai Chi. The first and foremost one is that we rotate in Tai Chi, we do not twist. So if I rotate, my whole body is moving, all 3 dantian stay aligned, and I'm moving my whole body as one unit. So you can see that the postural, or rather the spinal alignment, remains intact and very little strain on our spine. Now, if I twist, look what happens. This is such a cool thing in this t-shirt. Look at what happens when I twist. Can you see how icky that is for the spine? So I'm actually taking my elbow past my knee, past my side seam. My shoulder has demarcated from my hip, and now I'm twisting. And you can see what that does to the spine. Really strains the low back, and not only that, but it's leaving me completely vulnerable for attack here. And my momentum, my scapula is retracting towards my spine, and now my momentum is going this way, so it only takes 2 ounces to move me over. So many things wrong with twisting. And I think you'll get more and more refined with your awareness, because you may not think that you're twisting, but there's a chance that maybe you are, that it's just twisting a centimeter. So start to be aware of the rotation, and then we get in trouble when we want to add just a little bit more. You see what's happening here? I'm adding a little bit more. So I'm rotating, I've got great posture. Right here's where I need to go because of my elbow-knee connection. But then I feel like I need just a little bit more, and now I'm twisting. So no twisting. The second rule is we do not cross midline. Now, when do we cross midline? Never. So if I am taking my arms across my midline, I'm crowding myself, I'm having to fight against my own self, and it leaves an opportunity for me to be easily pushed back, because it's just taking my own momentum and using it against me. So we never want to cross midline. Did I ever mention that we never want to cross midline? Rather, we create an illusion of crossing midline. So we we turn our body. Now, it may look like I'm crossing midline, which is kind of what I want. I want to lure my opponent in, but I'm not. Look what happens. If I just keep my shoulders without moving a thing and I come back to center, you see I have not crossed midline. Now, yes, we can come in towards midline, we can protect our midline, but we don't want to cross midline. So we rotate, no twist, and we preserve our midline by not crossing over. The third principle is that we never collapse. So this is collapsing. This is so cool. Watch this. Ugh. Right? So we have gravity working on us all day, and as we get older, gravity has a bigger impact on us. So we've got enough of this collapsing going on. We're on our phones, we're typing, we're driving, we're collapsed. And Tai Chi is not ever collapsing. It's always expanding and elongating our center line, or all of our lines, in fact. So two common errors that I see is, or misconceptions, is one, tuck the tailbone. Now, I'm not saying we don't, but when you say tuck the tailbone, your intention is already too much. So watch what happens. What happens a lot of times with Tai Chi practitioners is they take action and they actually physically tuck their tailbone. So they roll it way under like this. Now, look what happens when I do that. Watch my spine. Ooh. It collapses, because that's the kinetic chain. You're fighting yourself if you tuck your tailbone and you're trying to elongate. It's not a natural, structurally possible pattern. So what you need to do is more think of your center line being like a rubber band with a weight on the end of it. And you're holding that rubber band at the top, and you let the weight sink down, and then you pour that weight into your sit bones, and then your spine elongates, and that's just enough of a pelvic, it's called anterior tilt. Just enough. It's subtle. And then I can elongate and lengthen my center line rather than tucking and collapsing. Another misconception is this hollowing of the chest. Again, if you intentionally take action and hollow your chest, then you are collapsing. So I'll see a lot of Tai Chi practitioners, they hollow their chest and their scapula protract out towards the side, and then they kind of get this little hunched appearance. I'm exaggerating it, but actually I've seen practitioners like this. And this is not beneficial to your anatomical structure. It's collapsing my internal organs. Ugh, I can't breathe as well, and it's collapsing and compressing the spine. So all you need to do is just put those scapula on a more neutral posture, sink your elbows down, lengthen your spine, and imagine your chest being nice and soft and receiving, like a ball. And that's enough. Now I can expand my spine. Watch it closely. It's like magic. Rather than collapsing. You see the difference? So there is no collapsing in Tai Chi. If you're doing something that's creating a collapsing, then you're fighting yourself and you're not giving your structural anatomy a chance at having a healthy longevity, nor is it creating a nice, powerful structure. So we have rotating, not twisting. Okay, we have never crossing midline, always preserving your midline. You can come to midline, but you don't want to cross over it. And we don't want collapsing of our center line or of our center body. One more thing is the opposite, like of the hollowing of the chest. Some people can like open up, and when the scapula come back towards the spine, this is scapular retraction. And feel what happens when you do that. Well, the sternum comes forward. It's almost like an invitation. Please hit me at a very vulnerable place. Also, it makes your breathing go up high and you're more uprooted. So this again points to just getting your scapula in a nice natural rested posture. And your scapula is a really good landmark as to what's happening with your arms and body, whether you're using more arms than whole body. So, rotate, don't twist. Lengthen, remember that rubber band with the weight. Don't compress. Keep your scapula stable. And don't cross midline. So let's try one movement together, and so that we can kind of put this into practice. So we'll just do a ward off posture, and let's get in a nice bow stance. And you can put your, I mirror teach, so this is your right leg in front. And then right here, you're connecting your elbows to your knees. Now, if you're trying to face the screen, then you're twisted. So your shoulders already demarcated from your hip. So align your shoulders and your hips. And then let's rotate around our center line, our midline, and preserve our midline. And about right here is where people want to add a little more and they start to twist. They go back too far. You have this nice landmark, this knee right here. That's where you rotate to. That's as far as you need to go. And your midline is preserved, you're not crossing over. And then we'll come back to the front if you know this movement. If not, just fake it till you make it. And we come forward and look at this right down along our midline, as if it's a reminder. And lengthening by the weight at the bottom of the rubber band. And drop. Yes. So I think that you'll find these simple strategies will progress your Tai Chi to a new level. And remember, you've got landmarks. And so be aware of those landmarks, where they are in relationship to each other. They're handy-dandy Tai Chi landmarks in your body. I hope you found this information helpful, and also be mindful to bring it into your everyday movement patterns while you're doing your daily activities and tasks. So if you liked this video, I really would appreciate it if you'd help me out by hitting that subscribe button. And I hope to see you in the future, and thanks for watching.